It's the Chatham Kent Home Builders Association's Parade of Homes, sponsored in part by Windmill Cabinet Shop and Owen Flooring Design Center.
The Parade of Homes in Chatham Kent at the Chatham Kent Home Builders Association continues. Today we have landed in the Landings subdivision with the one and only Jim and Jeff from Multi Construction. If you haven't met Jim or Jeff, you are in for an absolute treat. So I want to get right into this. First, let's talk about the subdivision itself because it's very unique.
When you come into the Landing subdivision, it is a place of discovery because most people in Chatham do not know it's even here, and it's wonderful that people drive in, they come in and they see the unique designs. Every house is different, and the streets are a very nautical theme. You can even look at the number stones, and there's a ship carved right into the stone so that you feel that you're really part of a unique neighborhood, and it just feels really good to come into something that's a special neighborhood in Chatham Kent.
Well, and that's what you said. It has this nautical feel, and it truly does. I also want to talk, when we're speaking a little bit about water, let's talk about the elements. This is very important to you, whether it be natural, whether it be stone, grassy. Let's first talk about the exterior of the home, because you had some really great attributes that people might not be thinking about.
We like to always deal locally, and we have locally sourced material. So we're buying from local brick companies, local siding companies. And we like to work with local people because those people are part of our neighbors and their children and our children. So we really have a really homogenous feeling that people feel part of something of the multi-family and part of the Chatham Kent community. So when they need something, they can always get it locally. They don't have to go out of town or find someplace, say, out in Windsor or London. It's very easy in Chatham Kent. Everything's 10 minutes away. And also, when you come to a multi-home, you'll see that the front yards are not sodded. They are seed. We actually grow the grass here. And you end up with a much better lawn. And these are just all little steps that we can do for the environment. And also, too, with our homes, we have natural hardwood flooring, and we try to use as many natural elements to link people tighter to the earth that you feel comfortable about it. We don't like to use fake material.
You made a comment to me that when people purchase your homes and families come in here, they comment to you.
When you look at our home here, it's very open concept. We have fairly narrow lots here. They're some of the narrowest lots in Chatham. And when you come into the house, we have never had anybody say, oh, it's a small, narrow home. They actually say, wow, I can't believe how big and roomy it is. And also, too, we have this open concept that feels very comfortable. And people have said, since we've moved into a multi-home, our family is more together. They feel that it's just an awesome place, this room to be, and people like to be in this room with the kitchen and the fireplace and the TV and the dining table. It brings families together better.
We have so much to tell you about, and the one thing I want to still stay with the exterior. Can you tell me a little bit about the side of the home? Because you talk about this little patch of grass in between like the division, and you don't do this.
Yep. On the exterior homes, like you'll see on regular subdivisions, they put a little narrow sidewalk going to the side door. And then there's a little strip of grass in between, and there's confusion about who's going to cut it. So we just fill the houses in between with concrete. You have space to put a garbage can or recycling bins, and it just makes more an attractive entrance to the side of the house.
And it's neat and tidy, and especially since this house has a side entranceway.
Yeah, we have a side entrance that's featured for a extended family suite in the basement. So we have a full suite in the basement with a bedroom, kitchen, laundry facilities, a full bathroom with a heated floor. So it's just fantastic. So if you have an extended family of kids or parents, they can comfortably live in the basement and be on their own with their own entrance.
Well, let's face it, we do have to change with the times because we are seeing a lot of multi-generations in one house again.
It's becoming a little more difficult to purchase a home, so your children may have to live in the basement.
So I'm going to go to the upper level, and then we'll work our way back down because you have done something very unique that I have honestly never heard of before. Let's talk about HVAC. Let's talk about heating and air conditioning.
We thought we got to do things different. So we started doing this probably about 10 years ago, is that we have a dedicated air conditioning line that goes upstairs, And all the air conditioning comes from the ceiling down because the cold air sinks. It saves on a lot of energy when you can have that air starting where it's supposed to and working down. It works a lot easier. Like the air conditioning will run probably about half as much as when you're pushing it all up. So it saves on energy bills again. And also too, it just makes the whole house just so much more comfortable.
And you've talked about energy savings. Let's talk about this house because it's very energy efficient.
It's a whole bunch of little things that you do. It's like taking the outside, making sure that the house is very air sealed. Like before the bricklayer starts and the siding people start, we purposely go around the whole entire house to make sure it's air sealed. We put insulation under the concrete floor. We put extra insulation in the walls. We do extra taping on the windows. Like we just don't put a roll of red tape. We put this expensive tape. We have to get more efficient. We might have to spend a little bit more at the beginning, but it saves hundreds and thousands in the long run. So it's sometimes it's hard to go that extra step because the upfront costs are a little bit higher, but it's a long-term savings for the customers, which is, I think, awesome for them.
You're talking about the monthly savings alone. Having this house is electric.
Yeah, this particular house is all electric, so we didn't even run a gas line to the house. Because when you have a gas line to the house, you're going to be paying $38 a month, even if you use no gas. So you take that savings and you apply it to your electric, and then this house is heated and cooled with heat pumps, so our air conditioning costs are dramatically less. We're running, our air conditioning cost runs twice as efficient as a standard air conditioning because of the heat pump application. So we're going to be saving approximately $50 to $60 per month on energy costs on this house.
I really feel like you gentlemen have thought of everything. Not only, I don't know if you think alike because you're twins, but you really think differently. And I love that our discussion today is, and we'll get to the aesthetics of the house, but we've really talked about the bones and about the internal components, and that's the longevity of the house. And that speaks to so many things that you've thought of in advance. The other thing I wanted to mention too is you've mentioned to me that you've built in Chatham, Kent for more than 50 years. And in those 50 years, like, you know everything along the lines of even the soil. Tell me about the soil, because this is a very unique story as well.
Yeah, building in Chatham for 50 years, we're the second generation and the third generation is taking over. But building in Chatham is unique because we are living on very flat ground. This used to be lake bottom before, and if you go just a few miles west, it is all controlled by dikes and pumps. It is pumped land. So we do have quite a high water table here. So being a local builder that we've built here all our lives, we know exactly where the water table is, how high the houses should be. If you look at a multi-home, you'll see ours are a little bit higher than everybody else's out of the ground because a dry basement is so critical, because when you have a wet basement, it is something that you're gonna have to deal with over and over and over, and it just becomes a miserable problem for the rest of that life of that home. So when you do it right at the beginning, you can have just such a comfortable living space that you'll never have to experience mildew or moisture or bad smells. It is perfectly done on these houses.
And it really truly is. It's all about the comfort. And I wanted to mention in the basement, in the lower level, you've got the heated flooring in the bathroom. And you were mentioning about the foam that you put in.
We put 2-inch styrofoam underneath our concrete floors before we pour the floor. So we got the thermal barrier from the cold ground, which is going to be a constant 52 degrees. So we're stopping that coldness and the moisture from ever coming up. So the concrete floor actually feels warm. Like you can actually lay down on our basement floors and you're comfortable.
Super comfortable. Barefoot, you're fine. You're good to go. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's go to aesthetics because there is so much to take in here. Your kitchen. Let's talk about the kitchen for a second.
We deal with Windmill cabinets, and that's actually a company that's been around for approximately 50 years also and was a part of a multi-construction startup. They do the cabinets here, and they're related. It's my brother George's company. So we're very proud of our cabinetry, and you can see it behind us in the picture. And it's a custom cabinetry. It's not like a modular stuff where it comes in cardboard boxes and you put it in. It's actually custom cabinetry that is going to be designed for how you want for your family to have a kitchen.
You really do have a great connection to all of your suppliers or your sub-trades or your designers. Let's talk about the design. Index Design Studio, for example.
Yeah, Index Design is Catherine Pilon, and she's been designing our homes, and she works with every one of our customers. She puts a great package together, and when it is done, it is beautiful.
And you will see some of Catherine's designs right when you walk in, and you see the bathroom for guests to, if they're visiting here, you'll see that there. You'll see that coming up the stairs, and it's really noticeable, and it's a wonderful landing as you're going up, and just this open airiness of it's just very positive. Like you said, you get a wonderful feeling when you come into your homes of just, it's all those natural effects, I think, all of the natural, the wood tones.
When you come in, it's once and done. It's not like that you come into a house and you think, they should have done this, they should have done that. And then, you know what, on 5 years in your house, you're ripping your kitchen out, and you're putting a new kitchen, or you're putting new flooring. You don't have to do that. You're going to feel good about this home forever. There's no reason that this house, 50 years from now, you're going to say, this is a nice house. And even 100 years from now, it's still going to be a nice house. Every time you walk in that front door, you're going to think, I'm home, I'm in my home, my haven, and it feels good.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. How do people get in touch with you? How do people contact Multi-Construction?
Of course, you can just Google us, Multi-Construction, but the best way is to get hold of Jeff and I by cell phone, and my number is 519-380-5496, and Jeff is the same number, but his last digit is a 7.
So it's as simple as that. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you for watching and tuning in as our Parade of Homes continues in Chatham, Kent.
You've been watching the Chatham Kent Home Builders Association's Parade of Homes, sponsored in part by Windmill Cabinet Shop and Owen Flooring Design Center.